Stephanie Zima here, my way of life coaching, and I help online entrepreneurs to turn overwhelm into consistent sales. All right, day 3 of our 5-day challenge. Let's dive in. The real reason you are attracting the wrong people is what we are talking about today. If everyone likes your content, that's the actual problem. Sounds crazy, right? But it's not as crazy when you break it down. And this is what we're going to talk about today. So, if your content feels flat, if you are attracting people who just never buy, I mean, you know these people, you know these lurkers, the people that are watching your content all the time, they're looking at it every single day. Every single time you're going into your stories, you are looking at them, same names, same names, same names, but nobody wants to buy. If you are attracting those kind of people, it's because you are trying to be there for everyone, actually. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to teach a little bit on how to stop trying to be there for everyone and how to actually create content that matters for the right buyers. Okay. So your content is meant to do two things, and that is where we lose clarity often, right? When we think content, there's just so much we are learning, but in fact, it only needs to do two things. One, it needs to attract the right people to you, and two, it needs to repel the wrong ones. Those are the only two things your content needs to do. Attract the right people, repel everybody else. If your content doesn't do those two things, it is too vague. And I know that when we don't want to call out people, when we don't want to be bringing things to the point, when we don't want to be too clear, it's because we're somehow afraid that we are going to be rejected by people, or that we are upsetting people, or that we are not having enough people. A lot of scarcity plays a role when you have abandonment wounds. Like when you are already looking at only like 2 or 5 or 3 people that are looking at your content, losing these 3 people would be very, very painful. And we are trying to avoid this. But what you need to remember is that you're here to do business. You're here to create sales. And you cannot sell when you are having the wrong audience. See, it took me long years to figure that part out. I thought, is there something wrong with my content? Is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with what I'm teaching? Is there something wrong with my words? Is there something wrong? Like, I mean, my head was a head case. I was spinning, 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 spinning until I realized I had the wrong audience. See, you cannot sell a steak to a bunch of vegans, right? You cannot convince people to put pineapple on their pizza when they hate pineapple. That is the thing that I did not realize. So today, I share that with you so you can stop making the mistake. If you realize that you have scarcity around people, or that you are having resistances of letting people go or being clear, that is something you need to have coaching on, okay? If you start realizing that there's wounds inside of you that don't let you speak clearly, that's when you need to have coaching on it, where you need to dive a little bit deeper, take a look into your mindset. Why is that? Where's those wounds come from, okay? All right. So what I want you to do today is, here's your task, okay? I want you to write one post that clearly says what you believe in, who you help, and what you stand for. What do you believe? Who do you help? And what do you stand for? So for me, is I help online entrepreneurs to create consistent sales out of overwhelm. I believe that everyone is able to do this. Okay. There's no specific salespeople. I believe everyone can acquire the skills to be great at sales. And I stand for helping the underdog. I stand and I've been so passionate about helping those that have this drive inside of them, that have that mission inside of them, but just need someone else to believe into that because they have no one. Okay, that is what I stand for. I help the underdogs, the ones that are not the popular ones, the ones that are not necessarily like all that equipped for it, but I still think that you are meant to do the things. Okay, what is it for you? What do you believe? Who do you help and what do you stand for? And if you can't answer these things, again, that's where we need to go back to coaching. We need to figure these things out. That is important. Okay, so here's some prompts. I don't believe in. Most people are doing this wrong. And this is who I actually help. This is hooks that you can use for your posts. I don't believe in X, Y, and Z. Most people are doing this wrong, X, Y, and Z. And this is who I actually help, X, Y, and Z. Okay? All right. So today, what I want you to do is post it without softening it. Don't think about, oh, if Susie Q is going to see that, just post it. Just rip off the band-aid and post it. And when you know that you're winning, because we hear and we talk about winning all the time. Oh, I win this and my win of the day is that, yada, yada, yada. And if you're like me, you're struggling with, what does it mean to win? I want to tell you what winning today means, okay? You feel slightly uncomfortable when you do it, but you will feel aligned. If you feel uncomfortable but aligned, that means you are winning. Okay, so I hope this made sense to you. Make sure you hit the button, the subscribe button, share your experience out. And if you want more mentorship, make sure you check out my free workshops on Sundays at 7 p.m. www.rocketfree.com/workshop, or jump straight into the Freedom Mentorship and get the challenge and the training and the coaching and all of it together. It'll be life changing.